Hi, I'm Rafe Foreman, and today with Chris Stoy, we're going to talk about credibility kills.
Absolutely.
We have one thing when we go into court, don't we, Chris? And that's our credibility.
Absolutely.
And if we leave that at the courthouse, we come home empty-handed.
Every time. I'd agree with that.
I'd like to talk to you about not impugning your credibility or your client's credibility, which I call credibility kills. Let me start this way. You are good enough. Your story is good enough. We don't need to exaggerate it. We don't need to embellish it. We don't need to make it up. We don't need to act like we're something we're not. This is not one of those dating websites where we put we're taller than we are, better looker than we are, better dancer than we are. No, that's not what this is. This is you are good enough just like you are. And if you'll go into the trial with that attitude, we'll come out ahead. But let me talk to you about credibility kills. Credibility kills are things that take away from your character, your veracity, your truthfulness, and your perception. Perceptions are everything in the courtroom. I often tell colleagues that the facts don't matter. And they go crazy. What do you mean the facts don't matter? But let me just tell you, the facts in a case don't matter. What matters is the jury's perception of the facts. If the facts mattered, we could write an affidavit, the defense could write an affidavit, and whoever's got the best facts wins. Facts don't matter. What matters is the jury's perception of the facts, and the perception is altered by emotion, experience, education, and credibility. Let's not take away the credibility in this case. And so what I call them are credibility kills, Chris. If you suffer a credibility kill, you're probably not going to win this case. And let me tell you, think about a trial that you're familiar with or that you've seen, and you go, oh, well, she said that. That's it for me.
Yeah.
That's the credibility kill, or that's the turn in the story. It's what turned you from one position to another, and that's where we need to focus all our energy. We can't suffer credibility kills, and so I want to prevent you from doing that.
Well, and we as lawyers can't suffer credibility kills, meaning we can't say something that's inaccurate that kills our client's case.
No question about it. Matter of fact, I did that my own self. I was
You're
involved.
going to tell on yourself.
Yeah, I was involved in a case where the winds were gusting up to 55 miles an hour, and I said 75.
To the jury.
To the jury. Blew the client off the top of the 18-wheeler, and he broke nearly every bone in his body. And I was just wrong. I didn't mean to misrepresent it. I really believed that the record said 75.
And it wouldn't have mattered, 55 or 75.
55 was enough to blow him off. But I said 75. Well, then what happens? You get this terrible cross-examination because the client has just said the winds were gusting to 75, and we got the national weather report that says 55, and it looks like we're exaggerating. The client didn't do that. I did it. It was my fault. I apologize to the jury in closing argument. Bad. We actually settled the case before the jury came back with a verdict, but the bottom line is I will never do that again because you cannot suffer even one credibility kill. Now, I don't want you to do that as a client either. I'm not going to do it. Would you please not do it?
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is, let's say that you're claiming that your back was injured in this wreck or fall. Let's say you were rear-ended and you got back problems. They say, well, you had pre-existing back problems. No, I didn't. You've never seen a doctor for a lower spine problem. No, I haven't. Was this your doctor? Yeah. When did the wreck happen? July. What is the date on this record? February. So you were already having back problems before you had the wreck. Well, that's a credibility kill. No one's going to believe anything you say after that point. And we can't rehabilitate them. Credibility is almost like, it's not like gold or silver or dollar bills that we can change and follow around. Credibility is like, it evaporates. It's something that's so valuable, but once you lose it, it's evaporated. It's gone.
Absolutely. I've seen the same thing with a trial I did up in Wichita Falls once where the defense lawyer, very skilled defense lawyer, was cross-examining my client about her medical conditions, and he just happened to have some of her prior hospital records and was going through things about her neck and back, and he stumbled across this, and he said, well, and so it looks like you had gone to the hospital before for some ovarian issues. And she just starts vehemently denying this, and she did. I knew she did. She knew she did. And it had nothing to do with the wreck. Absolutely nothing to do with the pains that she was complaining about in her neck. But she just was going to die on the hill with that. And the jury didn't treat us well, and rightfully so. You know, just that right there. It's like, well, if you lie about that, what else are you going to lie about?
That's right. And so now we got to talk about a ticklish subject. You smoked marijuana in college. You did cocaine a time or two. You know, everybody can get over that. Everybody can forgive you. But if you lie about it, you say, I never done cocaine. I never did. And the next witness they bring in, the defense brings in your college roommate. Yeah, we used to do cocaine all the time. Credibility kill. You can't do it. And so what I want you to think about in this area is we don't want you to guess. We don't want you to make up things. We don't want you to exaggerate or embellish.
Yeah.
You're good enough just like you are. Your story is good enough for us to win. Let's not embellish it.
Yeah. So we've talked in other videos, especially the one about preparing for deposition, about making sure that you sufficiently list all the ways that this wreck or whatever, or this termination has affected you. So how do you advise a client to make sure that they sufficiently tell the ways that something's affected them versus going overboard and embellishing? How do they do that?
An exhaustive list of the truth is still the truth, and that is every way that this has affected you. What I want you to do is think about above a graph line when it is not exactly true, it's embellished. Let me give you an example. People that say, that was the best speech I've ever heard in the history of the world. Well, history of the world's a bit of an embellishment. Let me tell you what's an embellishment that I don't want you to get involved in a deposition. I never, don't say never. I always, don't say always, because there's always an exception to you saying never and always. So part of credibility kill is, that's all I can think about right now, it's all I recall right now, but don't say, I always wear my seatbelt. Really? We got a picture of you driving that day with no seatbelt on. Well, that's the one time I didn't wear it. That doesn't rehabilitate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I try to always wear my seatbelt is a little better, but I want you to get always and never out of your vocabulary and other phrases that are like that, because you're just opening yourself to a big sledgehammer and they're going to hit you right between the eyes with it.
Yeah. I loved your example earlier about the dating app. Are you familiar with the term catfishing?
No, sir.
Besides throwing a line in the water and catfishing?
I've caught the mudfish as a bottom feeder.
There's a term in the dating app community that millennials are aware of. It's called catfishing, and it's where you make your profile look better than you actually appear. And so when someone does that and then you go meet them in person, you say you got catfished, right? And I don't know where the term came from, but basically it's like, wait, that's not what I expected or what I thought. So when you told that story, basically when it comes to credibility kills, now I'm going to associate with don't catfish the jury.
You see what's going on right here? He just got imprinted, not by me intentionally, but he has associated a concept that he's well familiar with, which the concept I presented, and now he won't forget it. That is what we need to do to the jury. And the way we do that, you're going to imprint them with one of two things. This is an honest, truthful guy, or this is a lying snake. One of the two.
Yeah.
Which one do you want it to be? Let's not suffer any credibility kills.
Yeah, and just like in the dating app thing, the ultimate, the way that plays out metaphorically is you're going to tell your story, but the defense, a good defense lawyer, is going to find the truth. It's going to see who's behind those pictures, and everyone's going to be left pissed off.
I agree.
Or disappointed or something.
Some wise man, maybe it was you, told me the truth always shows up. Man,
I hope I said that.
I don't know where I heard that, but I like that idea. The truth always shows up. And so let's not expose ourselves to unnecessary credibility kills. We're going to already get slings and arrows shot at us. Let's not just stand still and paint a target on our soul and say, kill us. I notice we're out of time for this today. I want to thank you for joining in. I'm Rafe Foreman.
I'm Chris Stoy.
And we're the part of the team of Warriors for Justice that would like to help you with your next trial.
And remember, don't catfish the jury.